This is week 9 of the project, and what we're doing is building a menu-driven application using CRUD operations on a relational database. So this week, first, we continued and we worked on projects app.java. We entered in a scanner as a Java object that reads the input from a user. So we did that right here. The following here is a private instance variable created that will hold a list of menu options that the user will be able to choose from and input. We also have a main method that has the following object that will call the method that processes the menu for the app. The following is an instance method, which is used to display, get, and act upon the menu selections provided by the user. So basically, it's a try-catch block that will get the user's input and decide whether or not to exit the menu or create a project or tell the user that the selection that they provided was not valid. The following is a private method to gather project details from the user and put into a project object. So if they do decide to create a project, this method will ask them to answer the following questions. Next, we created a new big decimal object and set that number to 2 decimal places upon earlier. The following method will print the operations and then accept the user input as an integer. In order to understand everything here, it's good to know that scanners, it's just safer to get a string from a scanner than it is an integer and then change it into an integer. This is why we have a try block here, is to make sure that the input isn't null and is in fact a valid number, and if not, that they have to try again. This is the method that actually gets the string, and it does so using the scanner. Then we'll test whether or not it's null and trim the result. Here is a method that actually prints the instructions for the user. Next, we're going to look at project service.java. This is just a file that acts as pass-through between the main application and the file that runs the menu. Finally, we have the project DAO. Here we created a class that will read and write the MySQL database. In here, we created an actual SQL statement. This is where we're going to obtain a connection and start a transaction. This is a try block statement. Here we are setting the parameters for the table. And finally, we want to test the project. We're going to test it 3 times. 2 times, we're just going to input, like, for example, we won't put an actual integer in there. And this comes up with an error. See, it's saying that it's not a valid number and to try again. So we're going to try again. This time we're going to put, because we only have a certain amount of options, we're going to put 5 because that wasn't one of the options. We only have add project here as an option, which is 1. And it says 5 is not a valid selection, so try again. So we're going to try again here. We're going to put 1. So, we're able to do it. So enter the project name. We'll say major project. Estimated hours. Enter the actual hours, 15. Enter the project difficulty, 5. Enter project notes. This was hard. Connecting, and bam, successfully obtained connection. You've successfully created project